50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome on in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 396. Today is May the 10th, 2024. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, as always, is our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing today, kid?
Yo, I'm doing great. Today was a lovely day. Took a drive out to Philly, made it back. Now ready to kick it off with the show, Dill. Let's get to it.
Oh, yeah, it's been a beautiful last couple days, actually, here on the East Coast. Was at the Yankee game the other day, going Sunday night baseball in the Mets against the Braves, so should be good. They said we were supposed to get a lot of rain, but we haven't got any rain. I'm not gonna complain over here, kid. How about you?
Nah, Dill, it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. And I like the fact that it's not like 80 plus. Today was nice, cool 60. This weekend's looking like, for Mother's Day weekend, looking like cool 60s, 50s.
Yeah.
Low 70s. That's what I like. I'm not ready for just summer just yet.
No. Summers over here can be scorchers sometimes, but very relaxed, cool week we've been having. Got a great episode for you guys today. We got some orange and blue skies to recap. We'll talk some Knicks Pacers, Jokic. We'll talk about him winning his third MVP. We got some picks for you guys today for Friday for the NBA, MLB slate as well. Big slate in the diamond. And then UFL week 7, only about 3-4 more weeks left in the regular season, and then we'll get to the playoffs. But we will start in New York. The Knicks take game 2 at home, 130-121. I mean, everything that I've heard, the Knicks, they play too many minutes. They don't have depth, this, that, and the third. And we continue to grind out wins. What a win. First time since 1990, the Knicks have scored 130 points in a playoff game. And I think it was collective unit. I know Jalen Brunson went down in the second quarter. He still finished with 29. Donovan DiVincenzo had 28. OG had 28 as well. Josh Hart had 19 and 15. I mean, he just gets every board. And even Hartstein had a really good game as well. Vintage Jokic game, 14, 12, and 8. He's a very good passer at the number 5 position. But, I will say, for as good of a coach as I thought Rick Carlisle is, he wasn't really smart down the stretch. I mean, TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin needs to be in the game. I mean, there were 2 of your best players besides Halliburton, who was on fire last night. The 2 other best players were TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin. Why they're not in the game in crunch time, at least trying to slow down big body Brunson? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to question it, but Rick Carlisle is a good coach. He has a championship under his belt. I just don't understand. I mean, that's a bad decision-making on the road. When the Knicks are hurt, you got to capitalize that. I thought TJ McCollum did an okay job guarding Jalen Brunson, but those guys need to be in the starting rotation. Now, I don't know how you do that. Do you take Andrew Nembhard out? You can't take Halliburton. The way he was playing yesterday, he was really good. So I don't know if they got to find a rhythm, because I don't think Aaron Nesmith was all that good. Miles Turner has not had a good series so far. But yeah, very questionable decision. And to be honest, I like Rick Carter, don't get me wrong, but I lost a lot of respect for him after the words. And thank God the players went to the podium and said, we love our coach, but we don't share the same entity, because they don't believe that. For him to say it's the reason they lost is because they're a small market, they don't have a chance. Shut the fuck up. I mean, that is just blatant lie. I mean, it has nothing to do with being a small market at all. And the players came out and said they were just a better team. It has nothing to do with them being a small market team that we were getting calls. I could be honest, it had nothing to do with the calls last night. The calls weren't the reason they lost. They blew a 20-point lead. When Jalen Brunson was out, they were dominating. What happened to that? So they could blame a lot of things, but being a small market, I thought it was a bad look on Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, let's just start there. Definitely a bad look for him. It was just an excuse to give. You lost a game you should have won on the road, and I'm not gonna say it was a must-win game, but if you could have went back to Indiana tied 1-1, definitely would have been feeling good about Rick Carr would have been feeling really good about himself and confidently moving forward. Do I like the comment? No, but personally, it is what it is. Is he right? No. Does he have some like put like this, wouldn't more people tune in Knicks Celtics than Pacers Celtics? Like more
Yeah, but
people
that's not the reason they lost. I agree.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
just trying to provide context to the people out there, So that's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying Rick is right. All I'm saying is it will be more viewership for the Knicks and Celtics. So, and then let's go to the game. Let's talk about the game, Dale. Well, let's start. Tyrese Halliburton finally woke up, had a huge game too, Dale. His seventh, well, I'm gonna say 6 threes. Last one with like 15 seconds left. I'm not gonna, but did have 34 points. Still, I like the fact that he was aggressive in the first half. Kind of didn't really do much in the second half. Didn't take his first shot in the second half. So I think the fourth quarter, I would like him to be as aggressive in the second half than he was in the first half, Deal. Because what we saw in the first half, it was kind of lightning in the bottle, Deal. He was torching you guys, and like you said, Miles Turner, bad game. Neesmith, bad game. But Nimnard had a good game. OG Toppin, to be honest, though, he's having a great series so far in New York. So shout out Obi Toppin, having a great series so far. 2G McCollum didn't kill you, but he still was very effective in the game. Deal 5 for 9 from the field, 4 rebounds, 12 assists. That was killing you. So overall, the Pacers, I took the +4.5. I expect them to lose a close one or sniff it out. But you got to give the role players and supporting class of the Knicks their flowers. Like OG, I understand he went out, ended the game with a hamstring injury or whatnot, but first half, I think he had 20 first half points alone. He was huge, hit a couple of huge threes in the first half. Hollenstein, solid 14, 12, and 8, almost had a triple-double himself. Like Brunson still give you 29 points, and he didn't play the whole second quarter. Still give you 29. And, Josh Hart, 8 for 12 from the field, 19 points. Dante Vincenzo, he's just exceeding all expectations, though. He's been put like this. He's gonna get paid this offseason.
Josh Hart better get paid.
they all gonna get paid, So it was just, I understand they were down, but at the end of the day, they never gave up. They never was like, oh, Brunson's out. We don't got this. Still, they fought. They hanged in there. So then the big dog came back. Till the Knicks were back in the game with that 8-0 run to start the third. So you gotta give the Knicks credit for just not folding. A lot of teams could have been like, you know what, Brunson's hurt. OG, late game went out with a hamstring. We're not 100%. Let's just, live to fight another day. But they ain't fold, though. You got to give them credit for that. Huge win for the Knicks.
Yeah, I do worry. OG probably is not going to be able to come back for game 3. We'll see game 4, but Brunson will be good. He said he'll be ready to play. It was strange. I thought it was his groin or his
right ankle
foot
soreness.
Yeah, it was like his foot. He tried on new shoes. They rolled him out for about a whole quarter, they said. Tried on new shoes. Even in the beginning, the first 5 minutes, he looked a little shaky. He was actually going to his right, which is surprising. He's a lefty, so that's not his dominant hand. And he was finishing at the rim with the right. I was very impressed. I like it. I just think we're gonna need more from Precious Achiuwa. Now that Mitchell Robinson is out, Miles McBride needs to step it up. He was only 1 for 4 from the field. He had 4 points, but we're going to need more minutes from Precious. Alex Burke, I think, needs to step up a little. I know he only came in the last minute of the first half, but, Josh Hart is the first player since Jimmy Butler back in the day to go back-to-back games without sitting, 48 minutes in back-to-back games. Now, a lot of people question it. Can they continue putting these numbers? And I think they can. I said it last episode. Josh Hart, Donovan DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, these guys are conditioned to go 35, 45 minutes per game. And a Tom Thibodeau team is going to give you that. But I do think they need to look at Alex Burke. I'm not saying give you 20, 25 minutes, but at least give, 10 to 15 10 to 15 minutes. Give Brunson a little break because I don't know. I feel like sometimes they get a little gassed out in the third quarter, but like you said, I think you mentioned it perfectly last episode. This team doesn't buckle no matter down 15 in the first half or when they're down 5 in the fourth quarter. This team doesn't flinch. They dig deep. They lock in on defense. And they just clutch. I mean, Jalen Brunson is a closer. Like, he missed those 2 free throws. He could have finished with 31, and he sat out a whole quarter and a half. So, I mean, the guy could have went for 40 again. Is he getting to that superstar status?
Who?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, no, Jill. That's why I asked who. Jalen Brunson is a solidified superstar, Dill, already. I've been saying it. I think even last season, Dill, we saw when his first year by himself without Luka leaving the Mavericks, we saw that he's capable of leading a team. Look, as of right now, looking like they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. As of right now, let's just say they end up there, Dill. This is the second time Jalen Brunson has done such a thing. He went there with Luke. I understand he was the running mate. Now he's the top dog, but we got to give him credit. There's a lot of great players in their time that couldn't lead their team to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I'm not saying Josh Hart and Dante and company, but all I'm saying is Jalen Brunson's the top dog. So you got to give him his credit and his flowers still, because he's a small guy. He's 6'2", 6'3", lefty. His dad's also the coach. It's just a fun, great story to see that, come from the Mavericks, then become he's a superstar. In my opinion, he's a superstar. He's definitely a top 5 point guard. Maybe after this playoff run, maybe I have him a little higher, but I think he's a top 5 point guard right now. Definitely top 2 or 3 in the East.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how he goes. But yeah, I definitely think he's the best point guard in the East. I definitely think he's a top 5 point guard in the league. So we'll see. And we got him at like a steal. And, I was wrong when we signed him. I was like, we overpaid. Can he bring us to the promised land? I'm eating my words. I'll say this, a Jalen Brunson number 11 jersey's on the way here. So I'm that big of a fan right now. I hope you saw the legends on the court. Yeah, Steve Novak, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Stephon Marbury. We have Wilt Clyde Frazier, Bernard King. You saw Amari Stoudemire pop out too, right, with John Starks.
There's a lot of people, though. A lot of celebs definitely at the game, though.
I think you could attest to this. In a playoff atmosphere, when the Knicks are playing well, there's nothing like playing at the Garden, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I want to go to a game. It's a special vibe. I understand. Miami gets going. OKC gets going.
Yeah. Even Golden State back in the day.
Yeah, the Oracle Center. Yeah, the Oracle, not Chase.
Oracle Arena.
Oracle Arena gets rowdy. The TD Garden, in Boston gets rowdy. Deal. So, New York, I don't see too many places beating New York though.
Yeah, I mean, big win. Like I said, we're recording this live as the Celtics and Boston. Right now, Boston's up by 3 midway through the first. Are you worried with the Knicks now? Bogdanovich out. Julius Randle has been out. Doesn't look like OG's going to be there now for game 3. Are you worried we are running a little thin? Because I would be lying if I said I'm not worried just a tad now.
I would be just a little bit, just because with OG, we saw in game 2, he was very productive. Though hamstring injury, that might linger. Brunson foot injury, that was just soreness. Maybe you stretch it out, take a medication or something like that. It'll be all right. With OGs, this thing could possibly last this whole round.
Yeah.
Or even could knock him out for 2-3 weeks. Who knows, though? It all depends how bad is it strained, or is it just sore, or is it just a little tight. But if he pulled his hamstring, though, he's out. He's out. I highly doubt it, because he didn't seem that much in pain. He was still, walking on the court. He just couldn't, put a lot of pressure on it, though. But Brunson, I'm not too concerned about. Mitchell Robinson hasn't really been an issue yet. OG Dill, to be honest, I think you'll miss him just because
Yeah.
if for example, if he's out remainder of the series,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a huge issue.
Yeah, because I think he's been the main defender and kind of limited Pascal Siakam, old teammates back in Toronto. It's kind of limited Pascal Siakam. He's kind of been quiet this series because of OG Anunoby. He's had timely blocks as well. He has steals. He's one of our best defenders. So, yeah, I think it's going to hurt, at least here in game 3. 99% he's not going to play game 3. But if we could get him back for game 4 and 5, if settle him back in, hopefully I don't see us really struggling in this series, but for Boston, it's going to be a tough one. So we'll see. But yeah, big win for the Knicks. Game 3, excuse me, in Indiana will be on Friday at 7:00. But we got an MVP of the league from Serbia to the 41st overall pick. He brings Denver their first title last year, and now he becomes a 3-time MVP. I mean, what a story this guy was. 6-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, back-to-back MVPs in 2021, 2022. He has 130 career doubles, 4th most time. He averaged 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists this season. He's the first player in NBA history to lead the postseason in total points, rebounds, and assists. He led the Nuggets, like I said, to their first title in 2023. He was the MVP of that. He averaged 26, and now he's a 3-time MVP, one of the best to ever do it. I got to give Nikola Jokic his flowers.
Dill, with your ending statement, one of the greatest to ever do it officially, Dill. We got to give, you got to put Jokic in that.
Top 10 of all time.
I wouldn't say top 25 all time, Dill. I gotta put my list. I gotta do a list one day, but
yeah,
he's definitely a top 10 big man of all time. I'm gonna say top 7. I'm gonna give him top 7. I gotta do some research. They'll crush the numbers out because his career is not done yet. But what Jokic is able to do this season, I understand they're down 0-2 right now. Things ain't looking good, but the fact that he's able to average what he averages, he can still give you the triple doubles. The fact that he was able to still, contend for the number 1 seed, without Jamal Murray, 20, 25, 28 games he missed. The fact that he's consistently in the playoffs without his co-star in Jamal Murray, not just this season, though, but, those previous MVP seasons as well. So it's just spectacular what he's doing, and we got to appreciate greatness. I understand it's getting a little boring. 7 straight years of a big man winning it. Jokic, I understand he's not, sexy, he's not entertaining, but he's just flat out dominant, people. So you gotta at least respect that he's dominating the game, and he is. He's arguably he's not the most exciting NBA player, but he's
one of the talents.
Best.
Yeah,
he's
and
honestly the best.
He becomes just the 9th player in NBA history with 3+ MVPs. The other 8 all legends: Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and LeBron. So he's not joining a category with, all right, guys, we're just happen to have a good season. No, these are all top 10, top 15 players of all time. So he has to be in that category. I love Shaq. I think he's a hater for what he said. I like how Jokic kind of laughed it off. He was like, and I think that's why he's not the sexiest pick, because he doesn't want to be the face of the league. He wants to go and ride his horses. He goes, it's at anyone's opinion. He goes, I'm really not worried about an MVP. If I'm being honest, we're down 0-2 to a really good Minnesota team. I like how he had the just the good morale about just saying, all right, Shaq, that's your opinion. But I thought being a big man to big man, I thought that was a kind of hater move. And I don't want to discredit Shai and Luka. They had amazing seasons, but MVP, they got it right. It had to be Jokic. Do you agree, or do you think it should have been someone else?
Me personally, Dill, I wouldn't be mad if Shai would have won it. Does he deserve to be the MVP? I think so. He gave you about 30 points a game, 37 points a game, was the number 1 seed overall, exceeded expectations, played almost every game, Dill. What more can I say? Does Luka deserve a vote or two? I think so. make it, the 4th seed and whatnot, 4th or 5th seed.
That's the only person I could really say deserves some votes, and he did get some first place votes. Shy. I will say I don't like what Paul Pierce said. He's like, oh, if he got more televised games, he'd been the MVP. No, people knew about the real NBA players knew about Shy and how good he is. It doesn't matter.
People that actually vote know who Shy is.
Exactly. It had nothing to do with televised games. I thought that was not a good argument to make, but not to discredit them. They're amazing players. Like I said, Shy might be the best point guard in the league right now.
Yeah, so I think so. Especially with what he's been doing so far in this playoffs, I think you kind of got to give him that title as the best point guard in the NBA, because he's been, as the first playoff appearance, he's been nothing short but great. He's been averaging 30. Like, he literally gave you the same thing he's been giving you in the regular season. That's the most impressive part. Because most players they fall off a little bit up in the come postseason. Only the greats could, match or, put up higher numbers in the postseason than doing the regular season. And Shai's doing just that. That makes him great.
3 best players in the postseason right now: Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, and Shai. No, in no order, and not in any order you want to put them in. I think those 3 have been the most dominant. They've been winning. They've been putting the team on their back, especially fourth quarter, late in crunch time. I know Nikola Jokic has been down, but what he did in the first series, I think, needs to be factored in. But wanted to give him his flowers. We touched on about a week or 2 ago saying, DeVar Ham, Frank Vogel, we don't think they should be fired. But we know how this story is gonna. We followed the NBA way too long to know how this story was gonna finish. Today, the Suns dismissed Frank Vogel, our Jersey boy. Suns, they won 49 games this season. They had the 3rd highest payroll and tax. They were swept in the opening round by the Timberwolves. Suns, they're looking to hire their 3rd head coach in 3 years now, after just 1 year in the contract, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Mike Budenholzer is talking with the Suns, and talks are expected to move quickly. He's working on assembling a coaching staff for a return to a head coaching job, and it's apparently gaining momentum. So I'd assert within the next few hours, maybe day, they're probably gonna announce Mike Budenholzer as the head coach. So 1, very unfortunate Frank got fired just 1 year after this, and 2, do you like the new hire?
It's a damn shame that the fact that all these coaches, just as of late, you just got a 1 year window and you're out. If you don't win a championship in your first year, you're pretty much fired. Darvin Ham, 2 seasons, he's done. My boy Frankie V, 1 year, he's done. My boy Adrian Griffin.
He didn't even get a season.
He didn't even get a full season. He's done. So to me, the NBA has to do something. Like, if you give a coach a 2, 3, 4 year deal, you gotta at least give him half. You gotta at least let him coach half. To me, it don't make sense. Like, I understand the Suns' season was a failure. You got swept in the first round, but if you end up getting swept in the first round by the future NBA champions, maybe that's not as bad as a look as it is right now. Frankie V wasn't the sole reason why the Suns lost in the first round, why the Suns got swept, why the Suns were only the 6th seed. It's the injuries, though. Bradley Beal didn't show. Bradley Beal gave you 8 points in the closeout game. That's one of the main reasons why you lost. You had no depth. You lacked a point guard. You had no defensive prowl, especially down low. It was Kevin Durant and Yusuf. He put no fear. No, Kevin Durant, he's a great defender, but down low, he can't bang with those big guys. So it wasn't Frankie V's fault. So does he deserve to get fired? Absolutely not, Dale. But I understand why. Somebody needs to take the fall. It's a shame that it has to be Frankie V. Budenholzer, on the other hand, great head coach. I think he's capable of winning a championship once again. Absolutely, Dale. But not with this team. We saw the team he won it with. He had great defensive, one of the best defensive teams in all the league in the Milwaukee Bucks with Holiday, Giannis, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, and company. The Suns ain't that. Suns could score with the best of them, but they're not stopping nobody, not even a nosebleed. So I just, to me, that will make sense. To me, you need a coach that's all offensively. You know, you need an offensive coach, offensive minded, particularly a young head coach. Like, you know, for example, though, well, you know who I like to see to get the Suns job, and I think who could possibly, you know, move things for them.
JJ Redick.
Uh, yeah,
I think I'm so high on JJ Redick
you're high
because
on JJ, but I'm gonna just throw a name that's
yeah,
not out there.
yeah,
I'm not. He's not young either, but
Sam Cassell.
Steve Kerr. If Steve Kerr was able, let's just say he'd be like, you know what, I'm done with Golden State, like Bob Myers did, you know, a year or two ago.
Interesting.
I can see him, you know, give him 2-3 years. Suns will be. I'll give him 2 years. The Suns will be right there, you know, in the Western Conference Finals area. I just feel like with Budenholzer deal is just not the best fit. Is he a great coach? Yes. Is he possibly one of the best head coaches available? Yes. But to me, it's not the right fit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that he got fired because, like you said, they weren't built to win. I feel like, yeah, they have a lot of star power, but they had no point guard.
Score you. That's it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, you hit on a bunch of things. They have no depth. We said that from most of the season. We said that they have no depth. They have no true point guard. Devin Booker was bringing the ball up for most of the time. Grayson Allen, and no disrespect to Grayson Allen, I'm glad he got his money, but he's no point guard. They didn't rebound the ball well, and it was just a bunch of ISO ball. There wasn't anyone. When you watch the Knicks play, the reason they get so many offensive rebounds or rebounds in general is because you have guys crashing. You guys have it going down in the paint. There's no one around the paint besides Juszczyk. Outside of that, they don't really crash the board or rebound well. All of their shots are around the perimeter, mid-range, or from three-point. You're not going to win in the NBA like that, especially without a point guard. So, yeah, I mean, I like Mike Budenholzer, but like you said, he was successful when he had depth, when he had a team that played defense. This team doesn't play defense. So I think we're going to run into a very similar situation with Mike Budenholzer. So probably if he doesn't, even if he wins the first round series, he's probably going to get the boot as well. Honestly, that's just the way it's been going recently.
Though. It's a shame. You got to give these coaches at least a couple of years to mesh, you know, to see what works and what doesn't work, though. Because if we're just going to give 1 year tryouts, still, you're never going to find success. Not everybody's going to be, a Steve Kerr will give you a championship year one. You know, not everybody's going to do that, though. So
what does the Suns have to do? Is it just getting depth and getting a true point guard? Like, what do they really need to do to turn it around? Because they have the stars. They just need to put it together.
I think, that's where you start. To me personally, you trade away Bradley Beal. What's 8 points going to get you in a close hot game?
He has a no trade clause.
I try to work something out with Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Try to work something out with Bradley Beal because it's not working. So I try to trade Bradley Beal away for a young piece, a nice, big man or a nice point guard. There's somebody, like a Darius Garland. I trade Bradley Beal for Darius Garland or somebody like that, or somebody like in Orlando. Orlando's loaded with a ton of point guards,
Yeah.
So somebody like that. But, you get rid of Bradley Beal. You try to shore up the defensive side of the ball a little more. And then you get yourself a true point guard, Dill. You know who they miss during this postseason run? Cameron Payne. You saw him in a little action with the 76ers. Even if they could get a vet like Kyle Lowry, Dill, just to give you 15 to 20 minutes a night, that will help. Somebody that could control the pace of the game, So to me, they got to add veteran, big man defensively, then, a young point guard. A young point guard that could get up and down the court, that could do his own thing as well, get his own shot, but also get the team involved.
Who I want the Knicks to get in the offseason, and he's been torturing us, TJ McCollum. I think he is the perfect glue guy to come off the bench, give you some minutes. He had 12 assists in 21, 22 minutes last night. I mean, this is exactly who you want. He plays both sides of the court as well. I think TJ McCollum, he's going to get paid from someone this offseason. I think that's a guy you need to go after as well for depth. Real quick on the NFL, NFL teams were informed today that the regular season schedule is expected to be released next Wednesday, May 15th. You know what that means, baby. Football is back. The schedule is going to release 9 playoff matches, all 4 divisional round games, both conference championship and the Super Bowl. It's like a little tease, kid. We'll get the schedule on the 15th, and then right around training camp starts, and then our futures go about our you happy football's back.
Absolutely, Dill. The UFL has been okay. It's been a little exciting, definitely a little more exciting than it was last year, Dill.
Yeah.
But the draft, a couple trades, couple signings, there's nothing like the NFL,
No,
Dill. That's all
it's
I'm saying.
king. It owns the it owns the day of the week. And real quick, Dolphins, they signed Odell Beckham. Not the biggest needle mover, but he does give Tua another weapon down in Miami. Do you like that fit for Tua and for Odell?
I like the fit for Odell just because he's gonna be wide open a lot. Let's just say that. You don't need to worry about him. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill is gonna take the top off the coverage, Joe. Then Odell Beckham, when he's in the game, he's gonna be right, slant, something over the middle, a curl on the sideline, something like that, Joe. And he's gonna most likely have either a safety or linebacker on him, so he's gonna win most of his matchups, Joe. So I like it in that standpoint. Now for Miami's,
Yeah.
is he really gonna be productive? I don't think so, Dill. But hey, is he capable of doing it? Absolutely. Do I think with Mike McDaniel's and that offense? I still think it's a run first offense still, and then it's Tyreek Hill, then it's Jaden Waddle, then Odell Beckham gets a little bit of the leftovers, but I just don't see him being too productive. But I think it's a great fit for Odell.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is a good fit. It probably takes some coverage off of Tyreek Hill and Waddle as well. But I agree. I think with that, they have a top 5 running back room with Chain. They can take the top off of defense really quick. So I do think they are a run first team. And I know that's crazy to say because of what the weapons they have on the outside, but look how good they are. And with Mike McDaniel, I think they are going to run the ball first. So I like it. It is only a 1-year deal. So if it doesn't work out, he could go on to his next team. But yeah, that's all the news I got for you, kid. Before we get to our plays, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the NBA playoffs, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to these plays. Friday night, 7 o'clock. Thank God it's not on a TNT. I couldn't fucking stand Reggie Miller last night. I'm sorry. He was the worst. Oh, my God. It's on ESPN. Oh, by the way, what'd you think of them saying, fuck you, Reggie? Josh Hart going over there and saying he's a legend.
I like it just because the fans get involved in everything. Deal, we know what Reggie did. You wasn't, we were born, but we wasn't actively watching. But you know what Reggie did, though. I know what Reggie did. At least I'm gonna say at least a couple thousand in that building saw what Reggie did. So it's just fun.
No, it is fun, and I won't go as far as to say he owns MSG the way he said it, but he has had iconic moments, which all the greats do at Madison Square Garden. You want to show up and play there. But let's go to we're in Indiana, 7 o'clock Eastern start. Pacers laying 7 at home, -290 on the money line, +235 for the Knickerbockers. Over under is at 222. I think the spread is that wide because OG is probably a no-go. I do think this is a good spot here for the Pacers, kid. What do you think?
Definitely a good spot for the Pacers, though. But I think the Knicks, they'll keep it close. Give me the +7, 7.5. I called the 7.5 earlier. I still like the 7 deal. If Jalen Brunson is good, Josh Hart is going to give me 48 minutes. Dante Vincenzo is going to hit that, not corner, but, that left center gap 3 deal. I like the Knicks. Do I think the Pacers win this game? I give them a shot. I think they do. But I just don't see the Pacers, cleaning up and taking care of business just like that. Miles Turner still needs to, come back to life. And then, with the Knicks still, what I just said, a couple minutes ago, they're not gonna fold, man. They're not gonna back down. They're gonna play tough defense, and when it's come the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, Jalen Brunson's gonna have the ball, and he's
Yeah.
gonna put the ball in the basket. It's just plain and simple, Dill. He might give you a couple turnovers down the stretch, but he's gonna put the ball in the basket. So give me the Knicks plus 7.5. I think they're losing a close one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win either.
Yeah, here I'll start with the side real quick because I got some fun props I want to throw your way and see if you like them. I do agree. I just think bias aside, objectively, the Knicks always, even with Brunson out, we find ways to hang around. Yesterday was OG, stepped it up, had 20 points in the first half. Next game might be Josh Hart, maybe Donovan DiVincenzo. Who knows? I think someone will step up. I think we're just going to find ways to, keep it close. So I agree. I do lean 7. It's time to break out all reliable. Give me Josh Hart triple-double at 11-1. I mean, the way he's playing 48 minutes. He's going to play every minute of this game. We got the rebounds. We got the points. I worry about the assists. It's at 5.5, his line. Can he get 5 more? Maybe, I'm hoping, but triple-double I think is a very fun prop. So that's for like a little pizza bet. Now, ones I really like I want the Knicks to pick up TJ McConnell. Give me over 16.5 points and assists. I love this line. When he's played between 20 and 26 minutes this season, he's been over this number in 20 to 28 games, including 3 of 3 of the playoffs. I think he's going to play anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. I'd be shocked if we don't see him later in the game, especially guarding Jalen Brunson. And I think Rick Carlisle is kind of switched things up. He wants to lock in and play defense when we know that's not the way this team plays. They need to play fast. They need to play frequently up and down the court. And I think TJ McConnell does that really well. So Knicks, they're banged up. I think this game does stay close, but even if the Pacers do pull away, McConnell will probably likely see a lot more minutes. So I'm going to take TJ McConnell over 16.5 points and assists. It's a player combo. And then I'm going to take Andrew Nembhard under 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. It's the point combo as then. But he's been trending downwards this series. As the first series, he was really good against Milwaukee. He's been aggressive, yes, but I just don't. With the minutes he's been able to get, 27 minutes in game 2, he only put up 19 points, rebounds, assists. He shot 78% from the field. He was 4 for 4 at the free throw line. So the problem with his role is, I think he gets replaced with TJ McConnell sometimes. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, you're not going to sub out your superstar in Tyrese Halliburton. I think at the end of the game or late in crunch time, they're going to sub out Andrew Nembhard. So I think that's why I'm going to fade him in this spot. Under 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What are your thoughts there on the plays?
Yeah, honestly, I love the energy, Dill. You even just motivated me to go back to the wishing well as well, Dill. Give me OG Toppin over 10.5. I went there game 1 and smashed.
It's so low.
I should have went to their game 2. He gave us 20. At 10.5, I minus 120 people at home. It wouldn't shock me if he gives us at least another 14 to 18.
Yeah, I love it. I don't understand why they keep putting the number that low. He's been not dominating, but he has been playing really well against the Knicks.
He's been shockingly very, very good. Between the legs dunk game 1.
That was their downfall, though. That was their downfall.
Yeah, they took the lead with that one, and that was it.
They
tied it with that.
Yeah, they tied it. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it with a buddy of mine, Mark. And I was watching it. We saw him put it between his legs. We looked at each other like, "Oh my god!" On a fast break too.
As a coach, like me as a coach, I would have been like, "You got to sit down on the bench." So I'm like, "Nah, because you're tweaking."
Yeah. A little revenge tour. And I said it, kid. Remember when we traded him? I said, I don't like that. OG's a good defender. He's getting better. Yeah. And look what he's doing to Indiana. He's giving them good minutes off the bench. So I agree. I don't understand why they keep putting the number so low. Let's go to the second game on Friday night. Minnesota looking to take a 3-0 lead at home, laying 4.5, minus 196 on the money line, plus 164 for the Nuggets. Over under is at 204.5. Can they make it 3 in a row?
Still, I think so. Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves -4.5 at home, Dill. What we saw games 1 and 2, Dill. I can't even. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I witnessed it. To be honest, I never thought I'll see the defending champ / the league MVP look so average or below average, Dill. Or we just gotta give credit to the best defense in the league in the Timberwolves, Dill, for just making the Nuggets look mediocre, look average. So I just have, in my opinion, Dill, I just don't see how you move on for game 2 on the road. Like, how do I expect you to be better than game 1 and 2 on the road? Like, that's my biggest thing. So Minnesota's crowd's gonna be jumping. Your boy A-Rod's gonna be front row.
Has to be.
He's the owner and whatnot. He's gonna be there. I just have a feeling though, Minnesota. I wouldn't be shocked if even Rudy chips in, and Karl Anthony Towns, Michael Conley combined for like 60, 70. It wouldn't shock me if, Edwards gives you 30, Anthony gives you 25, Conley gives you 15, 20. It could be something like that, though. And then defensively, if Jamal Murray is not in rhythm, it could get ugly quick. Because if Jamal Murray doesn't give you at least 25, 30 points, though, Joker gives you, his triple-double with his 30-piece, I think it could get out of hand.
I was just gonna ask you, what do you think? He didn't get suspended. He only got $100,000 fine, which is nothing for him. But you got to expect them to throw everything they have at them. They have to. This is a do or die game. This is a must win for the Denver Nuggets. They cannot go down 0-3 because if they do, they're gonna get swept. You got to imagine, maybe, would you ever, because I'm not, but I think the question needs to be asked, would you maybe look at the Nuggets first quarter, first half? They got to come out with some aggression, some energy, because if they don't, the Timberwolves are going to stomp on their throats again. You mentioned Cat. I think his point prop was at 19.5. I don't understand that either.
Smash is over.
Yeah, so I just don't know. I really don't. I expect if you want to back the Nuggets, you got to do it first quarter or first half, because I do anticipate them to throw everything they have at the T-Wolves. They cannot go down 0-3. This is a must win.
No, absolutely. It was a must win. I just, from what I witnessed game 1 and 2, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it. If you're going to tell me, Bruce Brown is going to come out of nowhere and give you 20 minutes a night, okay, then I'll be like, all right, the Nuggets could get something going. But or even Jeff Green comes back, Dill. But this ain't the same the same Nuggets team we saw last year during that championship run, Dill. It's just they just ain't, Dill. Jamal Murray, offensively, he's struggling. Joker gave you 6-8 points in the first half of game 2. They got to go out there and take the game over. I'm talking about Denver has to score at least 40 points in the first quarter to have a shot.
Yeah, I agree, because then it's going to get ugly, and then they're going to go down 0-3. So I agree. I would lean the Timberwolves here. I do think, though, if you want to back them, the Nuggets. I mean, it has to be early. If not, the game's going to get crazy, like I think it will. So, like I said, no lines as of yet for Saturday, but make sure Elvis will definitely have plays up. So make sure you go check his action app. It's Elvis_Acosta, correct?
Yes. Same way perfect. It is right here on the screen.
Perfect. All right, okay, let's head over to the Diamond. Big Friday slate, 15 games on the Diamond. No day baseball, which kind of sucks, but we'll start in the first game in Detroit. Tigers hosting the Houston Astros. Astros -132 favorite on the road, +112 for the Detroit Tigers. Over under is at 8. Any play here for you? First game.
Dill, dog of the day. Give me the Detroit Tigers at home. +108 on the money line. As of right now, +114. I even love it a little more there. Dill, don't get me wrong. Valdez on the mound. Little scared. Something to be worried about. But that Houston offense, Dill, nothing to fear at all, Dill. Give me the home puppy, Detroit Tigers at home.
Oh, we're locked step. Game 1, baby. Yeah, give me my dog of the day as well. I got plus 114. Any plus money, I think they actually should be favorite. I like Casey Mays. He's pitched well at home, just 4 runs given up in 11 innings. Walks are down. Tigers have won both of his starts at home against the Royals and the Rangers. And this is going to be Valdez's first start on the road this season. He has been better, I agree, but I don't know. I just don't really think so. The Astros, they did win today against the Yankees, but they're still struggling. They don't play well on the road. Tigers have a really good bullpen. And Tigers hit lefties much better than they do righties. So I think this could be a good spot for them. I agree, kid. I'm going to take the Detroit Tigers as my dog of the day, plus 112. Let's go out to Tampa Bay. Rays hosting the New York Yankees. Clark Schmidt going for the Yankees. Taj Bradley making his first start of the season for the Tampa Bay Rays. Yankees laying minus 148 on the money line, plus 126 for the Rays. Over under is at 8.5. Both teams are playing good baseball. Yankees, they did lose today, but prior to that, they've won 6 in a row. Rays, they've won 4 or 5 as well. So both teams playing really well. Schmidt, he's pitched well on the road for the most part. Only 3 runs given up one time, and it was his first start of the season. I guess what's getting it's a little chalky, but I do lean Yankees. I guess I just don't feel comfortable backing Taj Bradley in his first start against one of the best lineups in baseball. So I want to see him pitch a few starts before I start to back Taj Bradley. So I'm gonna take the Yankees here. It's a little chalky, but I do think they're the right side.
Yeah, I'll lean that side as well. To be honest, you know what? I'm gonna take it official. I just don't trust Tampa Bay's bats, and then with the Yankees, so we saw what they just did at Houston. We saw you witnessed it, what they did to Verlander. Though it wouldn't
Yeah.
shock me if they duplicate what we saw these past few days in a dome in Tampa. So give me the Yankees on the money line minus 142. Fuck it.
All right, let's go to the next game. In the DMV, the Baltimore Orioles hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cole Irvin going for the Orioles. Brandon Fart going for the Diamondbacks. Minus 136 for the Orioles, plus 116 for the Snakes. Over under is at 8.5. Yeah, I like the Orioles here, kid. My one worry back in the Orioles here is that the Diamondbacks hit lefties really well. 313 on the year. But I just feel like Cole Irvin has been so good at home this season. He hasn't allowed a single run in his last 3 starts. He doesn't give up the long ball. Walks are down. He gives you good length, around 6 innings per start. I know the D-backs hit lefties well, and this should be a good matchup for them. But I just think the Orioles have a better lineup. They're much more aggressive at the plate. And Brandon Pfaadt, he's not terrible, but he has let up 2+ runs up in 6 straight games. I think the Orioles can score here. I'll take them on the money line.
Same, Dale. Give me the Baltimore Orioles on the money line. Dale, I caught minus 132 earlier. I still like the minus 144. It's a little chalky there, Dale, but Baltimore is still solid. Still one of the best teams on all the baseball, especially in the AL. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks, I want to say a huge disappointment, but so far, Dale, they're just not with the same team as they were last year. So I think Baltimore, even at minus 144, I think that's a great number.
Shop around. I see minus 136 over at FanDuel. So, yeah, I agree. Even at a minus 144. Once it starts to get to minus 150, I think we're starting to get up there, though. Let's go out to Toronto. The Blue Jays hosting the Minnesota Twins. Joe Ryan going for the Twins. Yusei Kikuchi going for the Blue Jays. Minus 112. Home favorites for the Blue Jays. Minus 104 for the Minnesota Twins. Over under is at 7.5. It's going to be contrarian, and I know a lot of people probably don't like the play, but I took the Blue Jays here. I know the Twins, them and the Phillies are probably the 2 hottest teams in the major leagues right now. They won again today, 9-1 in their last 10. They hit lefties really well, so everything's adding up to taking the Blue Jays. I just think this could be a good spot for Kikuchi and the Blue Jays. Travel spot for Minnesota, so they got to travel to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays had the day off. Bats may be tired, and Kikuchi, I think he's a little better than Joe Ryan. If you look at Joe Ryan and who he's pitched against, not the best competition. So kind of a soft schedule. I think Kikuchi's better. He just hasn't been able to get the run support. I think the bats break out tomorrow. So give me the Blue Jays here on the money line.
Dale, this is a stay away from me. Dale, do I like Minnesota on the road? I don't love them on the road. Do I trust Toronto to lay the minus 120? Not yet, still. So I'm gonna just stay away from it.
All right, let's go to the next game. In City Field, the New York Mets hosting the Atlanta Braves. Charlie Morton going for the Braves. Jose Quintana going for the New York Mets. Minus 156 for Uncle Charlie. Plus 132 for the Mets. Over under is at 7.5. Kid, as much as I want to take a flyer on the Mets, I do think they're alive here. The Mets, they've already beaten Uncle Charlie this season in Atlanta, where he's actually pitched better. Now on the road, where he gives up much more contact, harder, more runs. I just think this could be a bad spot for him. Quintana, has he looked bad as of late? Yes. But at home, he's been solid. I kind of like the over a little more, over 7.5. Like I said, Morton, he struggled on the road. He's already lost to this Mets team. And Quintana, he just got done giving 8 runs in 2 innings in his last start. So the last series between these two teams, every game went over the total. The lowest game total was 11 runs. The highest was 20 runs. So I think we could see a lot of runs in this series. Give me the over.
Nice, Dill. Another stay away from me, Dill. I'm just not gonna touch it.
All right, let's go to the next game. The Miami Marlins hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies minus 176 on the road, plus 148 for the Miami Marlins. Trevor Rogers going for the Miami Marlins. Ranger Suarez going for the Phillies. Over under is at 7.5. What do you like here?
Dill, going right back to it. Give me the Philadelphia Phillies on the run line, Dill. Just gonna keep going, smashing the run line against the Marlins till they wake up. I don't think they eventually will, but arguably the best team in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies on the road. You got Rogers go on the mound for Marlins. Still, Marlins is just it's just a bad team, though. It's just a bad team. Take the run line. I think I called it at minus 120, I believe. Minus 105, Dill. So great numbers, great odds. Philadelphia all day on the road.
All right. It's a stay away from me. Ranger Suarez has looked amazing this season. So I lean Philly. I do think they'll win. Maybe over. Philly's been in a lot of overs, and so have the Miami Marlins. So maybe lean over in this one. Let's go to your Boston Red Sox hosting the Washington Nationals. Tanner Houck going for the Red Sox. Patrick Corbin going for the Nationals. Minus 205 for the Red Sox. Plus 172 for the Nationals. Over under is at 8.5. Kid, what do you like here for your team?
Dill, I ended up staying away from this one as well. To lay the run line plus 102. Do I think that we could take care of business and beat them by 2 runs? I'm not confident. I'm not confident going to say that, Dill, to be honest. And the money line is just ridiculous. Do we deserve to be a $2 favorite against the Nationals at home? I
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't think so, Dill. Not $2. Not right now. So this is just another stay away from me. Do I think we're gonna win? Absolutely. But to lay the run line, Dill, I'm not gonna do it.
Tanner Houck has looked really good this season. I kind of lean over here. The Nationals, they've been playing some good baseball. 6-4 in their last 10, playing a lot of overs. 4 of their last 5 games have gone over. They're averaging around 6.5 runs per game. They hit righties pretty well. I think going against the Red Sox, for them, I mean, offensively, going up against Patrick Corbin, who on the road, he's allowed 4+ runs in every start on the road, could be a bad spot for them. I think both pitchers could give up some runs here. So lean over, and I do think the Red Sox are the right side. A few more games. Go out to Chicago. White Sox hosting the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians minus 120 on the money line, plus 102 for Chicago. Over under is at 7.5. I took the Guardians here, kid. I get it. Cookie Carrasco hasn't looked the best on the road, but it's just that one poor start against Houston. I think the numbers are kind of inflated. After that, he bounced back nicely against the Angels. He only gave up 1 run in 6 innings. It's still the White Sox at the end of the day. They don't match up well against lefties. I'm not a fan of Garrett Crochet either. The Guardians are the much better team. It might be a trap, but to hang a minus 120, even if it is on the road, it just doesn't seem right. So it might be a trap, but I'll fall for the trap. Give me the Guardians minus 120.
Dill, I'm on the same boat, Dill. Earlier I called it at -134. Right now it's at -112. Even love it. I understand it might be a trap, people, but at the end, it's the Chicago White Sox going against the Cleveland Guardians. One of the best teams in the AL. To be honest, I think we both got to smash the money line and sprinkle on the run line as well. Get that plus money action, Dill, because at the end of the day, it is the Chicago White Sox.
No pitcher for Milwaukee, but I do think it's going to be Robert Grasser. I think he is going to get called up. So don't know definite, but I do think it will be him. If it is, I am going to hammer the Brewers. It's a very good prospect at home against St. Louis, who don't play well on the road. I probably would lean here with Milwaukee, but it's not definite. It's still TBD, so we'll brush over that one. Let's go out to Colorado. Austin Gomber going for the Rockies. John Gray going for the Texas Rangers. -186 for the Rangers, plus 156 for the Rockies. Over under is at 10.5. Any play here for you, kid?
With the Rockies, though, this is another stay away. With the Texas, it's another one, Dill. Do I trust them to lay the run line? I lean that way, the -110 on the run line with the Rangers, Dill, but just not yet. Do I think they're the right side? Absolutely. Too much to lay on the money line, and then with the Rockies, Dill, it's just another fadeaway. Do I lean the over? A little bit. I lean the over 10.5. Do I think the Rangers could put up a couple runs? Yes. The Rockies can as well, but I'll lean the Rangers on the run line, Dill, -110.
All right, 4 games left. We'll go out to Los Angeles. Angels hosting the Kansas City Royals. Alex Marsh going for the Royals. Griffin Canning going for the Angels. -116 for the Royals. -102 for the Angels. Over under is at 8.5. What do you like here, kid?
Dill, give me the Kansas City Royals. I called it earlier, -108. The line is going my way at -125. I just trust Marsh more on the mound than Canning. I saw Canning too. The Angels, man, no Mike Trout in the lineup. I just don't expect where the offense is to come from. You know, I understand he batted second, Dill, but he brought so much power. He was having such a tremendous season too before the injury.
It's a
I,
shame.
I just don't see where the Angels get the offensive, liability from. Can the Kansas City Royals, slip up and lose this game? Absolutely, but I just don't trust the Angels bats, to put up a couple runs either. So I'll lean the under 8.5 and Kansas City on the money line. Still love it at -125.
Yeah, it's my favorite play for Friday. I'm going to take the Royals here on the money line. I got a -108 either as well. So I think the only reason, the number is as low as it is because Alex Marsh did miss his last 2 starts because of an elbow injury. But up until that point, he was dealing. The Royals have won every single game he started. He's only given up 1 home run on the year. He doesn't strike out a lot of batters, but he gives you a lot of length. And the Halos, they're not the best hitting team against righties either. Royals should get, to Griffin Canning as well. He's given up 3+ runs in every start at home. Look towards a team total over for the Royals as well. I love the Royals here. They're my favorite play for Friday. Let's go out. Very good matchup. Dodgers against the Padres. Tyler Glasnow going for the Dodgers. Michael King going for the Padres. -168 for the Dodgers. Plus 142 for the Padres. Over under is at 8. I'm going to go with a total here, kid. I'll go under. Honestly, just based on how good Tyler Glasnow has been this year, I think the game could go under by itself just on that. Maybe Padres team total under. If you could get a 3.5. Glasnow, he's only allowed 1 run on the road this season and 3+ runs just 1 time on the year. He's been incredible. In his first start against the Padres, he was lights out. Game went under, and the final score was 5-2. Now talking through it, I probably do like the Padres team total under a little more than the full game. So hopefully we get a 3.5. I would gladly take the under there. Dodgers should win the game, but I'm going to attack Padres team total under.
Yeah, Dill. This one I lean the Dodgers on the run line, Dill. I just feel like the Padres, it's just not there yet. They're a 500 club, 20-20 right now. King is going on the mound. I just feel like the Dodgers are just a much better team right now. Do I love the Dodgers? Nah. But against the San Diego Padres, still absolutely. So I'm gonna lean the run line. I'm not gonna go there officially. Maybe if they were at home, I would have took it, but I'm gonna lean the run line plus 105.
It's Paul Blackburn Day, kid. Paul Blackburn in the Athletics on the road taking on Seattle Mariners. Brandon Wu getting his first start called up. Seattle minus 136 on the money line, plus 116 for Paul Blackburn. Over under is at 7.5. Kid, he's been roughed up the past couple of games. Blackburn, you going back with him?
Dale, I'm gonna stay away from this one just this one time. Dale, like you said, he's been getting a little roughed up. The first five hasn't been cashing on the road. Even though it's the Seattle Mariners, they haven't played much better I'm gonna say basketball, much better baseball as of late. They started off slow, been getting the ball rolling a little bit, especially as of late. Dale, I love Paul Blackburn. You know this. The loyal listeners know this, but tomorrow, people, I'm gonna have to stay away.
Yeah, I probably would stay away as well. We do love Paul Blackburn Day here, but A's been struggling. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. And on the road, he hasn't been the best. He's been giving up a lot of contact, 4+ hits in 5 straight games for him as well. So on the road, I really don't want to back him right now. Maybe we'll get back to him later in the year, but yeah, right now I'm going to stay away. Last game on the slate. San Francisco Giants hosting the Cincinnati Reds, minus 162 for the Giants with Logan Webb on the mound. Andrew Abbott going for the Reds, plus 136. Over under is at 7.5. Last game, kid, you got anything here?
Nah, they'll end up staying away from this one. Do I lean Cincinnati? To be honest, I lean Cincinnati as another dog, plus 130 on the money line, Dill, but just going to stay away.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more. I'm going to be with the Giants here at home. I actually like it a lot. I know, it's a little chalky, but Logan Webb pitching at home versus on the road is night and day. I don't think he's backable on the road, especially as a big favorite. But at home, I think we could back him. He's been great this season. Just 2 runs given up in 22 innings at home. He's 2-0, 0.82 ERA. Batters are hitting 225 off of him. Now he's going to face a struggling Reds team who I don't know what's going on with them, but they're struggling mightily. 2-8 in their last 10. They've only scored 7 runs in their past 5 games. Now, I get it. Giants haven't been playing great baseball either, but at home, they're a much better ball club. I trust the bats a little more than I do the Reds right now, who they just can't buy a win. And, it's like we say, kid, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. I'm going to take the Giants here on the money line, minus 155. All right, let's transition into the UFL Week 7. My Birmingham Stallion ticket to win the whole thing. Looking good, plus 190. They're down to plus 120 right now. We'll start with the first game on Saturday. Memphis Showboats on the road taking on Arlington Renegades. Renegades, despite not having a victory, they are laying 5 at home. Minus 195 on the money line. Memphis plus 165. Over under is at 45. Kid, do you agree with the line? Can Arlington get their first win?
The line is questionable, Dill. Excuse me.
Memphis are frauds. So let's be honest.
Memphis is not a good team. The Showboats, the Roughnecks, Arlington, definitely the bottom of the barrel, Dill. But the question is, do the Arlington Renegades deserve to be -4 favorites? Absolutely not. I understand they're home. Give them a half. Give them, -1, but not 4, Dill. Give me Memphis Showboats +4. It's gonna be an ugly game. This one I probably wouldn't even tune in, but I'm telling you what, give me Memphis plus the 4.
Yeah, probably gonna take an over here. Don't like it. I would lean Arlington because maybe not laying the points, but I do put them in a money line. I do think they get the win here. Offensively, how many games have they come down and just to the wire have lost by a game-winning field goal? I could count 3 on the top of my head. So they've been able to score points. Past couple of games, they've scored over 20 points. I think Memphis could score some points and keep up with them. I think we see a shootout. So I'm going to go over 45 here as my first play. Oh, let's get to the game of the week. Birmingham Stallions taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks. The battle of first place teams. Birmingham laying 4 at home, -190 on the money line, plus 164 St. Louis. Over under is at 47.5. It's the highest total on the board of the weekend. How you going to go? You going to continue to lay it?
Dill, give me the Birmingham Stallions -4. St. Louis been shockingly pretty damn good. I'll give them that. They're not at home. They have that huge following, huge home crowd, 40,000. But the Stallions just been the best team all season, been the best team for the past 2 years, and I think they keep it rolling. They'll give me the Birmingham Stallions -4 at home.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, there is 1 3.5 if your state has BetMGM. There is a 3.5 at -115. That's what I did. If you don't want to lay the extra 5 cents and lay the 4, I like it as well. They're not ready for them. Birmingham's going to fuck them up at home. Let's just be honest. This team, there are levels, and we talk about it in every sport: basketball, football, hockey, football, UFL. The Birmingham Stallions are the best team, offensively, defensively. They are going to fuck St. Louis up. I'll lay the 3.5. We're just going to continue to keep rolling this one over. Let's go to Sunday. First game in DC. I was thinking about going to the game, but it is Mother's Day. I have obligations. Panthers Panthers on the road, taking on DC Defenders. Michigan laying 1 on the road, -115 on the money line. DC short home dogs, -105. Over under is at 43. Kid, close on the books. What do you got?
Tough one. Definitely the toughest game of the week, in my opinion, Dill. But give me the DC Defenders at home on the money line, -105, Dill. I do like Michigan, but the Michigan Panthers have of late been disappointing to me. Lost last week, week prior, look a little iffy. Give me the DC Defenders at home. I'm gonna just stick with DC though.
Yeah, I'm on DC as well. I got the +1.5, but if you want to take them on the money line, I like that as well. I think at home, we've talked about this on the pod. They just play much better at home. Defensively, I think they will show out. And against Michigan, who have kind of been up and down, 4-2 on the season, I'm going to take DC here. I think defensively, they are the better team. At home, 2-1. Michigan, they don't really play all that well on the road. I agree. I'm going to take DC here as a short home dog. And then the last game on the board, your Houston Roughnecks hosting the San Antonio Brahmas. Brahmas laying 3 on the road, -165 on the money line, +144. Houston over under is at 39. What do you like here, kid?
Give me the San Antonio Brahmas -3.
Wow.
Dill, come on.
You're fading your team?
I have to fade them, Dill. They just, what I just said earlier, though, they're in the bottom of the barrel. The Brahmas, they can at least bring something, though. To be honest, I'm surprised that the spread is this low. I think the Brahmas could easily be like a 5.5, 6.5 point favorite. I think they went by a touchdown to up to double digits.
I'm going to take the over 39 here. I think we could see some points in this one. San Antonio, they could score some points. They've scored 127 points this season. Meanwhile, they've allowed the most points besides Arlington. They've allowed 138 points. So I think we could see some points here. I do lean San Antonio as well. I can't touch Houston right now. Can it be close? Yes, but I think we're going to see a shootout. So I'm going to take the over here for the Brahmas and Roughnecks game, kid. That's going to do it. I think we touched on everything. UFL, we touched baseball, we touched NBA playoffs as well. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, for all the listeners out there, appreciate your mom. If you have a wife, a baby mother or whatever, send some love her way as well, man, because a lot of these moms deal with a lot of things behind the scenes. So it's not, just tell your mom you love her, man. That's all. I love my mom. Shout out my mom. I think she's the best mom in the world. So just be thankful for all the moms out there. Shout out all the cool moms out there.
Couldn't have said it better, kid. I appreciate that. And shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. Going and taking her to the Mets and Braves Sunday Night Baseball. She doesn't know. I told her. She's like, oh, where are we sitting? Yeah, I was like, we're with the common folk up there. I got behind home plate. We're like 4 or 5 rows behind home plate. So should be good. Gonna surprise her there. But yeah, shout out to all the moms out there. Hug them and tell them you love them. But that's going to do it for this Friday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review, comment below who you'll be betting on this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone, good luck on their wagers this weekend. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Let's go, Knicks!